I feel. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy that you wanted to join me today because today we're going to talk about menstrual cups once again. You had a lot of questions throughout the last video about menstrual cups and it did really well, so I reckon a lot of people are wondering about menstrual cups and have small questions. So the most frequent question was, what cup do I choose, how do I know which one, and what are the pros and cons of the different cups? So I thought that was a video in itself. So today I have 4 different cups that I would like to talk about and rank, and yeah, let's see how it goes. So this is the Agana cup. It looks like this. It's made in clear silicone and the stem is quite small. This is one of the more flexible cups that I am aware of, and I really like that. A lot of people are asking about cups and the flexibility of the cup and the hardness of the cup and if you can wear a cup when you're a virgin. And one of the things that I like to point out is that the harder the cup is, the more you're going to feel it, kind of. The more leak-proof it is as well. But if you're a virgin or if you're very tight, I would recommend a softer cup or more flexible cup. And this is one of the more versatile cups. It's very flexible, as you can see. So the Agana cup is one of the ones that I have experienced the least amount of leakage with. This is one of the cups that I use when I'm at my heaviest in my cycle. So leak-wise, it's a 9 out of 10, I reckon. And the cup's stem. So the cup's stem has these small bumps, which makes it very easy to remove and take out. That's something that I really like, especially because I have long nails, and the amount of times I've accidentally stabbed myself. That hurts, yo. So the easier the cup is to remove, the more pleasant the overall experience is. And this is definitely also one of the ones that I find is the most easy to remove. I really like this because you can sort of grab, even with nails, these tiny bumps and then just pull it out easily. So leak-wise, it's a 9 out of 10, and removal / comfort, I would say it's a 9 out of 10 as well. I don't know if I'm going to give like top score to anything because there's always room for improvement, I reckon. So the next cup is the Diva cup and it looks like this. This is the cup that I used my first 1.5 years of using a menstrual cup, and it's quite stained because back then I didn't know how to prevent staining. Spoiler alert, you prevent staining by rinsing it with cold water instead of hot water and leaving it out in the sun. Then it will not stain like this. But I don't really use it anymore, so I haven't removed the stains from it. But the Diva cup is actually not that bad. It's not one of my favorite cups because it is a little bit wider, just generally here, so you can feel it a little bit more. And I don't know if it was just because I was very affected from my first experience ever, because that didn't really go as well, or just generally because I could feel this a little bit more, which I felt that I could. This cup is a little bit longer than some of my other cups, which means that it can hold more blood, but it also means that you can feel it a little bit more, and I wasn't necessarily into that when I started using the menstrual cup. The stem itself is very small. The stem of the cup is very small, which makes it harder to remove, and I've definitely had problems removing it. If you have a menstrual cup with a small stem, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad cup, not at all. It means that you have probably to push it out a little bit more, or push outwards when you're trying to remove it, and also have a little bit more patience because you won't necessarily find it just right away. But yeah, you will have to push a little bit more. And so for beginner's cup, this requires a little bit more technique than some of the other cups. So removal wise, I will give it a 6 out of 10. And leak wise, I will give this a 7 out of 10, I think. The next cup is the Zero cup. This one I tested out last year, I think, and they come in a ton of different colors and sizes, which is cool. This is a very flexible cup. It is the softest cup that I have. It's very soft, you guys, which means that it leaks a little bit more than some of my other cups, or generally it moves more with my body. It doesn't stay as still, which means that you cannot feel this at all. It's like it's not even there. But it also means that if you're doing a lot of exercises, like if you're running or doing anything that requires physical movement, it has a tendency to leak sometimes because it moves so well with the body. But if you're just sitting at home, or if you're at school, at work or something, this works very well, I promise you. Removal wise, the stem is very long. Stem wise, the stem was very long. I think it was out to here. And this is one of the cups where you will have to alter the stem to fit your body, which is really nice because that means that you can cut it to any sort of length that you're comfortable with. I personally prefer a longer stem because I don't like having to push. So I like the stem a little bit longer. So stem wise, this is very easy to remove. It also has these tiny bumps. They're not as big as on the organic cup, but it does make a difference. This cup is really easy to get a hold on, even though it seems quite smooth. But the stem as well is very flexible, so you won't lose your grip, which is really nice. So removal wise, I think I would put this at an 8 out of 10. And leak wise, I would say it's a 6 out of 10. The last cup, which I also talked about in my last video, is the ruby cup. I love that this is black, you guys. It just gives me life. It removes the whole staining issue, and that's really lovely. They also have them in other colors, but I mean, if you can choose black, choose black. And this is a medium thickness cup, I would say. The rim around it is very wide, which means that this does not really leak, which is kind of cool. It's kind of flexible, but not as flexible as some of the other ones, so it does stay put quite a lot, which means that it's really good for exercising. So leak wise, I think this is a 9 out of 10. This is really nice. The stem, I will just go. The stem is very thick, so it's not really a problem getting a hold of it. And it does have tiny bumps, but personally, I actually had kind of an issue getting this out. So this is also one of the cups that require, at least for me, a little bit more patience and a little bit more pushing, which is not something that's bad, not at all. So removal wise, I will put this at a 7 out of 10, and leak wise, I would put it at a 9 out of 10. Bonus round! Not everyone is into menstrual cups, which is completely okay. Even though everyone can use them, I do understand why this is something that takes a little bit of courage to get into. And for me, you can go and watch that video even though it's 1,000 years old. But I had a really bad first experience with menstrual cups. But I came to learn that just taking it slow and just trying it out at home and then removing it, having it in a few hours, and then just slowly becoming more comfortable with it is really the way to go. And I still do this, especially at night, if I'm sort of not feeling well and feeling like though everything may leak and everything may be ruined. So I also use cloth pads, which is something that I didn't mention in my last video, but I use cloth pads as well. These are simply just washable, and these are from Aunt Irma's. I will also leave her shop in the comments down below, as the same with all of these. But yeah, you can use cloth pads exclusively, or you can use them as an addition to your menstrual cup routine. But I hope that you liked this video and that it helped you kind of in some sort of way. Leave a comment down below and tell me if there are any other menstrual products that you would like to see me review or talk about or rank or do whatever. I'm very open to it. I love that I am able to help some of you guys getting into sustainable menstrual products, because that is really important. People who menstruate generate tons and tons of disposable hygiene and menstrual products every single month, and that's just not good enough. There's so much that we can do, and cloth pads and menstrual cups are definitely one of the things that's super accessible to a lot of people. It just takes a little bit of practice and a little bit of courage and a little bit of trust. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you guys soon. Bye! I don't know, is that my new outro? That could be, or it's too basic. Let me know. Bye. Thank you so much for watching this video, and also a special thank you to my Patreon supporters. You guys help me create green zero waste content, and I love you guys. You can find the links to my social media accounts down below and the link to my Patreon on this screen. Bye!